Hi everyone, my name is Tony Adegbenro. Welcome to this message, to this video today. I really appreciate you taking the time to make it here. I am going to show you in this video, in this message, how to eliminate stress from your life within 2 weeks and live the life you have always wanted. This video is for you if you find yourself unable to take action. You're lacking the joy and the energy of life. How many of you out there, maybe you, my friend, listening, you found yourself feeling overwhelmed, overworked, and underappreciated by those around you? Are you having sleeping difficulties? How many times have you woken in the middle of the night feeling restless and experiencing non-stop mind chatter? Your mind is just going yak, 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 unable to fall back to sleep, leaving you with mental fatigue the next day. This video is also for you if you are constantly stressed out and experiencing negative feelings. How many of you out there are finding that your emotional resources are being depleted and running low, leaving you tired and exhausted? What about those of you that are stressed over your relationship situation? Maybe between you and your husband or your wife, your spouse, maybe between you and your children or brother and sister or family member, or even maybe in the workplace. How many times have you found yourself angry and not seeing eye to eye with your partner or the person due to lack of communication, leaving you feeling frustrated and not being heard? This video is for you if you find yourself lacking the motivation to take action for the day. Let me ask you something. Do you find yourself constantly procrastinating? That is, living till tomorrow, pushing things forward and leaving everything almost to the last minute, thereby creating more and more stress than you ever needed. Or you may be asking, maybe wondering, what led me to this video? Why this message? Well, let me share a bit about my story with you. Everyone has a story. You have your story, I have my story. They have their story. The question is, whose story are you going to believe? And let me share just a bit of mine. I mean, there are many things I can share with you. In 1984, I joined a church group. And this is where I started to work with children and the parents. It was here I began to notice very stressful issues in families. And I began to help make changes, to begin to help them. Now, they were helped with their stress levels from what I'm going to share with you today. That's why I found the passion to talk about stress and helping people to get out of it. Then in 1989, I went to work in the National Health Service in the United Kingdom here, where I worked for 15 years. And I was exposed to work stress in the workplace at a very high level, also affecting individuals, maybe like yourself. This then led me in the year 2004 to resign my full-time job, as I considered that I cannot sit in the office all day talking to computers when there are people in the community that I can help. Now, you may need to take a hard decision, as I did, to get stress-free. Seriously, I had to make that decision in 2004. I sacked myself. I resigned. Say, are you out of your mind? Well, I just found that I'm a people's person. I'm not in an office environment sitting down. No, I want to be in the community. I want to help people. That felt more natural to me. That's one of the secrets. I hope you have your pen and the paper. I hope you're taking some notes. And maybe you've taken some notes already, but this one is a key one. What is your natural environment? Because when you're in your natural environment, you're able to kiss stress goodbye easy. So I'll be talking to you in this video about how to create your world, to create your own world. We live in the world, and the world we live in is molding us and shaping us to conform. But when you create your own world, your own natural environment, you're able to do whatever you like to do in that. You know what? I think it was Einstein who said, imagination is more powerful than knowledge. Okay? Now, if you look at the word imagination and break it into two syllables, image, nation. I don't know if you ever looked at it that way before. Yeah, from imagination, image, nation. You can create a nation in your mind with your imagination. You can create a whole nation, a whole continent. You can fill it in with so many things from your imagination. Now, that's one way in which you can create your world. That's another secret thing we need to look at. That's another treasure I'm giving to you right now to begin to think about. And when you begin to think about it in that way, you'll be amazed how you can create your world. Because you are probably living in a world, in an environment that's not natural to you. It's like you are forced in and hemmed in and choked in and locked in from every side, left, right, center, front, everywhere. Well, when you create your own natural environment, but that may mean taking a hard decision. As I said to you, I had to resign a full-time job to get into the community. That's another whole story I will share with you some other time. Let me give you an example. If we take a fish natural environment with water, whether in the fish tank, whether in the pond, in the sea, in the ocean, but if we take that fish out of the fish tank and you put the fish on the ground, that fish is going to die soon. That fish will begin to shake and move because that is not the natural environment for a fish. But when the fish is in a natural environment, that fish will just navigate and just move effortlessly. Everything is easy. It's in a natural environment. My friend, you need to know what your natural environment is. And I can help you to work on that, to begin to look at that, to create your own world. So that's what I had to do. Then in 2006, I've experienced the tension in families from my work life. I started a charity organization called Hope House Project. Yes, working with families full time, with parents, with children, with young people. Now, with working in the community project, I realized that stress was a very big factor affecting many individuals, including children. I mean, I would say in my days, this didn't happen. Maybe you would say that as well. But today's children, they are stressed beyond limit. You'll be amazed. And young people as well. And obviously, the adults, the moms and dad, and all the adults as well around them. Now, driven by this, I just felt, no, I have to do more about this area, adding value to their life. So this enabled me to be stress-free because my focus has been on the good that I can bring to another life. And that's the other point. So just as I suppose that this video is bringing you value right now and so far, will bring you much more value. So as you do more and you stay in that area, you find that things begin to happen for you. I began to create my own field, my own joy, my own environment, my own world. So in 2010, just to help the kids in the community, I was in a community that felt down, beaten down. I don't know, maybe like one that you live in or you know about. People will say, nothing is happening here, things are down, nothing is working out, everything seems gloom and doom everywhere. So in 2010, we thought, let's have like a talent show for the whole town, a talent show. And somehow somebody rang me from one of our national TVs to ask if I'm working with young people. And I say, yes, I'm working with young people. What issues do you think they're dealing with? And I said, well, they're dealing with this issue and that issue and that issue. So we're trying to work out which of the issues to tackle. And we felt that many just felt that there was nowhere to go for young people and there was nothing to do. Now, as of that time, my organization had two buildings that most of the kids didn't know about. So it was decided that let's do a talent show to draw them to come from wherever they are to come to this building so they can know that there's a building, a place they can go, and things they can begin to do there. Now, my goodness, the talent show opened up to everyone everywhere, and people registered. We were amazed at the end to see the talent in young people, in children and young people that was in the town that many didn't know about or was not showcased in any way, was not in any way for anybody to know. So children, young people came doing break dancing, doing drama, doing music in the band, individual solo, so many things. And they went on and on. We got some prizes, got the whole, it was a buzz created. You see, that was not there before. That didn't happen before. But we just created that, and suddenly there was a buzz, a feeling of life in the children, in the young people, in the parents, in the communities. And families began to get together and things began to happen. And it went on and on that eventually the show was even uh, put on, well, was announced on the national TV. Seriously, just from not happening before. That's what can happen, my friend. It created great joy. Now, in doing that, I was surrounded by an amazing team of volunteers. I call them champions. So, because they volunteered their time. Again, I've been talking about volunteering as a powerful tool to kiss stress goodbye. And so with these volunteers, we worked together with so much joy, so much life. Everybody felt totally alive. One of the volunteers that worked with us at one time, he used to sit in his house just talking to his TV and the bird in the cage and his computer game. That's all he does. Computer game, TV, and the bird. Now he came to volunteer in our organization, and within a few weeks, he felt different. He was talking to everybody he was meeting because he's now more alive. Within a few months, about 2, 3 months or so, he lost some weight. He felt different. He felt better. His mind was clearer just by coming out and volunteering. That is the power of working with community, working with other people in the community. Now, just to give you a taste, okay, of the people I've worked with diverse groups of people who, though, and there were young people I worked with. There was a time that we had some children from 5 European nations, different nationalities, and we're able to bring them together because they were in a situation in the community they've just moved in where everything was stressful. But we're able to get them to work together in the club, and eventually we took them on a day out. Now that was quite an experience. And the experience allowed them to distress from the various challenges that they are faced from moving to a community. So that was one group. At another time, I managed 2 football teams. Yes, 2 football teams. The first team I managed was in the year 2003. That was my son's team in 2003 to 2006. That was what I had great success with, working with young people in the field of football or soccer, as some may call it. The team was called Lakewood Football Club. And as with young people, there's a lot of stress to deal with. Seriously, working through with them individually or what was happening with them in the family. And then, of course, the management team that we had to put together. So various things that had to be done. By the end of the second year, third year, we were winners here and there. I can show you many trophies we won. We won the league competition. We won some cup competition. We got to the final of national competition. All of this didn't happen before. These were things we just created. Seriously, you can recreate your world and kiss this stress goodbye. And of course, we have so many trophies on display to show people. I work with various age sectors. I work with children, as I said, with young people. I work with people in the office, people in the community, people in the faith sector, people in the schools, primary schools, high school, people in business life. Now, again, my management team, I had to use some of the skills of my experience in all of this to work with the football team. You can imagine young people sometimes, only they're playing football, they can get angry and they get sent off from the game. Some of them had issues with their families at home when I visited them, and we're able to help them just to deal with some of these issues they were going through. That was in 2003 to 2006 in one football team, in one community, in a different town entirely. And then in 2008, I reproduced the same success with an entirely different set of young people in another community, different family, with great result. That's right, with great result. Now, I've worked with the people as well, a few individuals. There was a lady, her name is Carol, and she said to me, your teachings, which I've been privileged to hear. I work with various individuals as well, and one of them is a lady by the name Carol. She said to me, your teaching, which I've been privileged to hear, will liberate many others as it did to me. She had financial worries and anxieties, untold amount of stress at work where she was working, and as people do, she just let herself go and everything was all over the place. She said, I was stressed out without realizing it. And she ended up in a complicated mess, even in a hospital situation. So she came to me when she was having financial worries, untold stress, anxiety in life, in the community. And using my system, which I'm going to teach you and I've been sharing with you already, she was able to overcome her stress and live the life that she wanted. There's another guy who has a social media business. He said, your materials, your teaching, your webinar, they get a thumbs up for me, as simple as that. He said, this is him, this is Scott speaking. I realized I really wish this was the first material I used when I started out many years ago in my search for enjoying everyday life. It would have saved me thousands of pounds, he said. So there you go. So there's Scott, who suffered stress from countless projects he was running, from being a referee in a game of football, was running his own business, was helping the community, was trying to set up a media department in the faith sector. But after applying some of the tools and tips that I'm going to share with you, that I've been sharing already, he was able to recommend me highly to others and give my methods a thumbs up. Now, the point is, think about this. Let me just ask you, imagine a horse, a big horse, and it's tied to a chain. Just think about that for a minute. I'm just trying to create that image in your mind. Sometimes the thing that is holding you back is all in your mind. Look at think of the size of a horse, a big, huge horse, a stallion horse. Tied to it is a simple plastic chair as an example. That horse can move that plastic chair anywhere, any moment. But if the horse begins to think that it's tied down, it may be afraid to even take a step to move that chair in any way. And it can be that simple. That is just right there in the mind. Stress is on a mission to kill, destroy, steal, and mess many individual lives. Maybe you're in that state now. And so you too must be on a mission. Seriously. I don't know if you've heard the story of the baby elephant. There's a baby elephant tied to the stakes. And the elephant was made to move and eventually, was not able to move. Grew older, grew older, grew older, grew older. Eventually, so you're trying to get the elephant to move, but the baby elephant, from being tied to the stakes, when trying to move, could not move. Growing older, trying to move, could not move. Now, when the elephant grew bigger and was able to move that stake, the wood was tied to, refused to do it. And when even the rope was let go, the elephant still felt, no, I can't go from this. You see, and I'm praying that this video will shake off whatever may be in your head, and you will feel a freedom to apply what you will learn and be stress-free. Now the question is, how do you realize you are stressed? You know you're stressed any moment your mind is not present and certain, and your heart is not grateful and loving. Now there are 4 pillars of a stressless and masterful life. And I call presence, being present now, certainty, gratitude, and love. These 4 pillars, I call them the cardinal pillars of a stressless and a masterful life. Now, since fear involves a future imagined state of mind and body, and guilt involves a past remembered state of mind and body, stress occurs when you are distracted from the present, when you are much more in the future or in the past, when you are wavering with uncertainty, when you are ungrateful, when the heart is closed. When you feel stress, what happens? Your muscles become tensed up, particularly those of the jaws and the face and the arm and the hands, and your breathing and your speech becomes erratic. The result is a disordering of your thoughts and a polarizing of your mood. In what areas of life does stress arise? For many, it's a multiple. Stress is associated with fear and guilt arising from primarily within the following 7 areas. Some have a spiritual stress, that is a fear of loss of communication or inspiration from their soul or with God. Some have a mental stress, the fear of loss of intelligence, imagination, or memory. There's vocational stress, the fear of loss of success, of clients or maybe business. There's financial stress, the fear of the loss of money or possession. That's right. There's social stress, the fear of the loss of friends or rejection and humiliation. There's physical stress, that is the fear of the loss of wellness. There's a disfiguration or maybe death. The question is, how many levels of stress are you involved in? One or the other of the above is surely the condition you are writing right now. So let's get to the solution right away. Now, we're going to talk about 5 steps that will help you eliminate your stress. Number one is going to be wisdom principles from a pencil. That's right. We're going to look at some golden principles from an everyday object that will move your life forward. And number two, we'll talk about the triad system. This is where we will discuss 3 fundamental methods. And the first one is the words that we say and what it has to do with stress. And the second is your focus. And the third is your body language. The third step we're going to look at is simple stress buster tools. Here, we're going to discover stress busters that you can use in your day-to-day life that will guarantee you energy like steroids. These tools will help you to decrease your stress. In step number 4, we're going to be talking about a new lease of life. Here, you'll discover how your stress is totally and shockingly minimized as you reach out in serving others. You'll be infused with energy and fullness of life like you have never ever imagined. Your whole being is renewed in an unexplainable way. You just can't explain it. And then step number 5 is your understanding of who you really are. We'll be looking at spirit, soul, and body. Now, understanding who you really are will put stress to bed once you grasp the concept of spirit, soul, and body distinction. You will know who is talking and acting within you at any point in time and how to reach out to reduce that stress level. So, my friends, let's go. So let's begin to look at step number 1. This is the 5 wisdom principles to acquire from a pencil. Now, people are stressed around every single day, doing their day-to-day stuff. They're asking, how did I get myself into this mess? How can I get out of this right now? My friend, help is on the way to you in this message. So step number 1, as I said, is everything you write on leaves a mark. If you take a pen, a pencil, a marker, and you have a plain piece of paper, and you draw a line across it, you write anything, you draw anything, principle number 1, you are always leaving a mark. Now, when you write on a blank piece of paper, as I said, that was once clean, you immediately leave a mark on it. Question is, it depends on what you have written or drawn on the paper. Is it positive or is it negative? Somebody spoke negative words to you that got you stressed out and you decide to rub it in their face with multiple stressful words and attitude, thinking you can't just let it go. Well, you've just left a mark on that life just as they did on yours. You can otherwise turn it around and go the opposite way to the stress they brought your way. It's a choice you need to consider. You can choose to refuse to be buried. You probably heard the story of a cow, that refused to be buried in the well. As often as the farmer shovels sand on the cow to bury the cow because it was just surplus to requirement, the farmer felt, okay, I have this well, I don't need this well any longer. And then I have this cow, I don't need it any longer. So how do I get rid of them? Oh, well, let me just put the cow in the well and just shovel the sand over it and just close everything up. But as often as the farmer was shoveling the sand to bury the cow in the well, you know what the cow was doing? Shaking it off, shaking it off, shaking it off, shaking it off, on and on. As it was shaking it off, the sand was falling to the bottom of the well, creating a platform on and on for the cow to stand on, until eventually the cow was able to come up and come out of that well. Simple as that is it. Eventually was able to climb out of the well, refused to be buried by stress. Every time you open your mouth to speak to anyone, no matter who they are, you are making an impression. You are leaving a mark on them. Question is it positive? Is it negative? Are you stressing them with your conversation, or are you encouraging the person? Likewise, have they stressed you with their conversation or lifted your heart and your spirit? If stressful, then make a choice to do something about that immediately. The longer you let it lie unattended to, the more difficult it becomes to deal with. So lesson number one there, leave a positive mark with everyone you relate to. In every communication, whether in writing, by text, by email, by face-to-face, leave a positive impression. Leave a smile, not a frown. Leave some joy, not hatred. Create a good atmosphere, not a stinking, smelly one. Make people to want to be in your company, to want to be around you. Don't be a moaner or a killjoy. Make the effort to make a difference every day. Principle number two, the mistakes you make can always be corrected. So remember a pencil, looking at the pencil. So with the tip, you can write something. But most pencils have a rubber, or what's called an eraser. Okay. If you make a mistake, simply say, so what? I'm just going to learn from this and just try again. This time, applying the lessons you've learned from the previous mistake. Never give up. Don't stop and don't quit, because quitters never win and quitters never win and winners never quit. That's right. There was a man by the name Thomas Edison. Okay, it took 10,000 tries before he invented the light bulb. He never stopped. Be encouraged. That's right. I'll share more about that maybe later on. Principle number three, what's most important is what is inside of you. Again, think of the pencil. Okay, the inside is greater than the outside. It's the lead on the inside of the pencil, okay, that's more important than the wood that surrounds it. So outside of you, coming against you, could be words of hate, feelings, of anger thrown at you, voices of discouragement, sometimes looks that kill, or actions that you think you can't handle this, you're going to kill yourself or do something dangerous. Maybe friends and families that you don't like, people that mess you up in any and every way. But you can control all of this from your inside, from your spirit, in the quietness of your mind and heart. You are the one in control, not them. Begin to believe this, and your stress level will begin to drastically lower. That's right. You can control the pressure from the outside, from your inside, because inside is your strength. Your power lies inside of you. Reach deep down and pull from the reservoirs or ocean of peace, comfort, love that you have. It's there on the inside. Draw from the fountain of serenity and tranquility on the inside of you. You can simply close your eyes. Yeah, just close your eyes and see yourself as invisible and untouchable by the stressful forces that's coming against you. Begin to feel as if you have a bulletproof or a well-protected covering on you that those stressful words cannot penetrate through or get to you. And if you like, you can get an umbrella, a brolly, okay, and refuse to be beaten by the rain of negativity that could stress you. Instead of standing there and doing nothing, no, put the umbrella on, block all the rains away. That's right. Principle number four, is a sharpener. When you have a pencil and the pencil is getting blunt and it's getting blunt and you can't write with it anymore, it's not going to create any proper drawing, you sharpen it, you sharpen it, you sharpen it. And when you're sharpening it, there's some leftovers. A pencil must be sharpened to write or to draw correctly. Life's sharpeners are essential to get you out of stress state you are in. Taking action is a sharpening. Knowing that your stress relationship is not your fault, but your responsibility is a sharpening. The earlier you agree with this sharpening, the quicker the progress that you will make. Quality decision making is a sharpening. It will wipe out procrastination that keeps a backlog of one stress over another stress till there's a pile that seems immovable. This video is a sharpening, as well as providing you tools and tips and actions that you can implement immediately to stop stress in its tracks. You can do that. Yeah. So in life, you will undergo painful sharpenings that will fine-tune your life and free you from stress shackles and chains. You'll become a new and a better person. The sharpening could come from situations around you that you are just in it. But as you really deal with them in a positive, in a powerful way, they sharpen you and makes you a better person. Mentors could be sharpening. If you have a proper mentor, they can help you and tell you where things are not right straight away, and you fix them and you make your life better. Corrections that you get from people, quality friends and family, your support network. With this, you can easily eliminate stress from your life. That's right. And principle number 5 in our 5 principle of step 1. Let me ask you a question. Can a pencil hold itself? Does the pencil know what to write? Both answer you will definitely say is no. Many are struggling and swimming in the ocean of stress, and they feel they can easily get themselves out. Well, my friend, you need to be held by a hand that will guide you through, a hand that can help you to produce the best painting and writing ever. To be honest, you must allow yourself to be held and guided by hands that are available and at your disposal. Their family, their friends, there are many true helpers. There are mentors who have been sent by God to guide your life through this stressful state and to ensure you pass through the storm successfully. There you go. Now let me tell you a story. There's a story of a little girl playing a piano, in a busy hotel reception area. She seems to be making noise, so much noise, so much noise, which annoyed some of the guests waiting in the reception and those who are coming in and those who are in the hotel. Now, the staff could not stop the girl as she was the daughter of the chief executive officer and the owner of the hotel. But no sooner that the dad showed up and placed his hands over the daughter's little fingers and produced some tuneful music that got everybody clapping. The difference was because the daughter allowed her dad to play through and with her little fingers. You can do this to my friend and see stress vanish like a smoke, blown away, never to return. When you allow yourself to be held and guided by mentors, by this message, by organization, by this video, you can be stress-free. Sometimes you want to be there for everybody. You feel it's your responsibility to provide solution for everybody. The thought of this alone is just stressful. Seriously, stressful. The good news is you are not supposed to be everything for everybody. My friend, you are not. Please. I bet a few people like that. In fact, it's impossible. And that's why you are overloaded with stress. Let the coach hold your hand. Let your mentor guide you through. Okay? Come into a mastermind group that will help you to navigate your way out of stress. Seriously. To be truly successful, and stress-free, you must be guided as others have. If you want to learn to drive, you're not just going to buy a car, jump into the car and start driving. You will need to have a driving instructor if you're going to learn to drive a car properly. And that learning instructor will navigate you through until you pass from beginning all the stages to the end. You have to pay to get through that. But when you pass, now you're free. You can earn as much as you want to earn, do various jobs and help people and do it. But until you do that, you have to go through working with the driving instructor. Some have like a fitness coach when they go to the gym to get them to the required weight of fitness. Now, you may say, I want to lose weight. Yes, you want to lose weight. That's fine. But then, if you can work out some discipline on your own, there are things you can do on your own. Or some may think, oh no, I need to be in a group to get myself motivated and have some friends along. That may be another level you need to get to. Or maybe you have to go and get a private personal trainer that will give you a schedule of what to do from where you are in your fitness, in your way to where you want to be. If your son wants to play soccer or football for his skill, okay, to get very good, you will need to have a football coach. If your daughter wants to learn music, you need to get her a music coach for her passion or interest in music, whatever the instrument may be, whether singing or playing an instrument. You need a life coach too to hold your hand and become stress-free. Now, the man Tiger Woods, from what I heard, who was a famous golfer, there was a time in his life several years ago when he was number one. And they said he had several coaches, not just one. I don't know, maybe 5, 6, or 7, several coaches. No wonder he was number one in his field at that time. So he didn't just have one coach to look at how to play the game of golf. One was helping him with his mind, with his organization. Many coaches he surrounded himself with. So successful people they know that they need to be held. They have to have support networks around them. You know it. Prime ministers of many nations, presidents, kings and queens, they surround themselves with advisors on various issues to guide them in their decision making. So if you see a president comes out and begins to speak on defense and all of that stuff, it's not that he knows everything about defense. He has a defense minister. If he's coming to speak about health, like COVID-19, he has a health minister. If he's talking about pensions or money for the poor, he has a finance minister. So they have all these people working with them and relating with. They needed to be guided. You need to be guided too, my friend. Here's a summary of step number 1 of our 5 steps. Step number 1, leave a mark, a positive mark. Principle number 2, mistakes can be corrected. Principle number 3, the inside is more important than the outside. Principle number 4, sharpening make you better. Principle number 5, allow God-sent helpers to hold and guide you and your life. Your cooperation with them will ensure absolute stress-free living. That's all of that's just step number 1 of 5 steps I want to share with you in this message. I have so many information, but every one of this one will bless you, one or the other, a multiple of them. Step number 2, I want to look at the triad method. The triad method number 1 of that is the word. Somebody said the tongue has no bones, but it's strong enough to break a heart. So be careful with your words. Maybe you've heard that before. That's right. So the good book, the Bible, says, be careful how you think, for your life is shaped by your thoughts. Wow, that is huge. Be careful how you think. When you're thinking in a particular way, you are shaping your life by your thoughts and subsequently by your words. So speak words of healing daily to yourself. It will take a determination. You have to be diligent in it every single day. Now, before you speak, think. You know the word? The word think, T-H-I-N-K. T stands for ask yourself, is what I'm about to say, is it true? H, is it helpful? I, is it going to be inspiring? N, is it necessary? Do I need to speak at all? K, is it kind? Think. T-H-I-N-K. Is this word true? Is it going to be helpful? Is it going to be inspiring? Is it necessary at all? Is it going to be kind? Because words are like arrows. Once they're loosed, you cannot call them back. I think it was Judge R. Martin who said that, something like that. Okay, so speak words of healing daily to yourself, words of inspiration, words that will lift you up, words that will get you going. Number two of the triad method is focus. So number one is words, number two is focus. Now, there was a man, Thomas Edison, who encountered a newspaper reporter, a journalist, and the reporter said to him, Mr. Edison, you failed. Edison laughed. He said, no, I didn't fail. Edison simply changed the meaning of the word the man said to him. He said, I did not fail. I just found 1,000 ways in which something did not work, and eventually I cracked it. So you see, you can change your words. You can change the meaning. You can change the focus of your mind. Let me share with you another story of Thomas Edison. So a story is told about a young Thomas Edison who was, when he was a child, he came home. This is powerful. Please listen to this. He came home one day with a paper for his mom. He told her, Mom, my teacher told me to give this to you, only to you. Thomas' mom opened the note and her eyes filled with tears. She was crying. Thomas asked his mother what the note said, and she read out aloud to him, your son is a genius. This school is too small for him and doesn't have enough good teachers to train him. Please teach him yourself. And that's exactly what Thomas Edison's mom did. She homeschooled her child with devotion and dedication. As the story goes, many years later, after Thomas Edison's mom passed on, and he was now one of the world's greatest inventors, he found a folded paper among the many family items. As he opened the very same paper, listen to this, that had been handed to him to give to his mother, and he read the following message. Your son is mentally ill. We won't let him come to school anymore. At that moment, Edison realized what his mother had done for him so many years ago. And he wrote in his diary, Thomas Alva Edison was an adult child that by a hero mother became the genius of the century. In the book of Proverbs in the Bible, we learn that the words of the reckless pierce like sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. I say that one more time. The words of the reckless, when people speak recklessly, is piercing like a sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Can you imagine what might have happened to Thomas Edison if his mother had read to him the exact reckless and hurtful words written by his foolish teachers? He might never have invented the light bulb or made his many other contributions to society. Or thank God for the wisdom and the wise words of his mother. She created the context in which a son could grow to his full potential. Let's take this message to heart and resolve to use our words for healing today. My friend, use your words for healing today. You might be a parent. What do you say to your children? You might be a teacher. What do you say to your students? Especially the ones that are not really performing well presently. What do you say to your parents, to your family? What do you say to your boss? What do you say to your subordinates? What do you say to your leaders, your colleagues, your followers? Just as hurtful words can cause uncontrolled damage for life, so can wise words positively affect a person for life. I pray and I say that may my words and your words be used today to change your life. How many of you know about Formula One driving as a sport? Now, Formula One drivers are told that the wall, there's a wall as they go round the bend, and there are walls everywhere. That's so that the wall is only to protect you if you go off, but don't focus on the wall as you drive at high speed. If you focus on the wall, you will run into the wall. Mrs. Edison could have focused on the letter, on those hurtful words about her son, needing help, being mental, not able to be, to be looked after in that school, and she will have crashed his son's future on the wall. That's right. But she turned things around changing the meaning. No matter what is said to you, change the meaning. Turn it around. You create your own world doing that. And that's what we need to look at. Step number 3. So step number 2, but point number 1 is words. Number 2 is focus of the triad. Triad, it's like a triangle. So you have words, you have focus, and now you have physiology. Physiology is body movement. If you're sagging the body like that and feeling like, yeah, you're always looking depressed, now, so you can square your shoulders up and stand tall, look straight, walk straight. You can change everything. Posture is very important. Now, it's been said that sitting could be killing you. Studies show that sitting more than 6 hours a day puts you on a potentially deadly track, even if you exercise. That's pretty bad when you consider that that the average American sits about 9 hours a day on average. When we sit, especially for long periods of time, our bodies tend to shut down, which can lead to an early death. That's right. It can really lead to an early death. Dr. James Levine, a Mayo Clinic specialist, a researcher, said that this is the new smoking. So some may say, I'm not smoking. But if you're sitting too long, it's as bad as smoking. The trick, he said, is to have it firmly fixed in our minds that sitting is the new smoking. That sitting is literally bad for you. For 15 years, Dr. Levine has studied the grim consequences of spending too much time on our backside. And then he said, it's time to stretch. So in the office, some offices now, they have workstations where you can stand at some time and sit at some time. They have some gym, they have a workout area, they have a game area, they have a TV area. Even in the office, where you cannot go to a gym, so at your break time, you're able to move and you can go have your 10 minutes break, 15 minutes break, just to move about. And that is very, very helpful. Very, very helpful. So let me give you a summary of step number 2. Get into the habit of using the right words. Number 2, focus on stress-free living and attitude. Use your body, your physiology, to decrease your stress. Your posture, the way you present your body, slumped or saggy or upright, shows and gives your stress away instead of making it upright and shoulder up, not down. Negative posture increases your stress level, while positive posture exudes confidence and positive energy. By changing your posture, the way you stand, the way you use your words, and the way you focus, you are decreasing your stress big time. So that's 2 steps already out of 5 steps I want to share with you. Step number 3 of our 5 steps in this message, in this video, I want to share with you stress buster tools. That's right, stress buster tool. First one, tell yourself winning stories. That's right. Compile quality stories. This compilation will inject energy into you. Compile quality stories. The compilation infuses energy into you, not the horror stories that people watch and goofy, scary, death, disaster, bad news, breakup, damaging movies. Some people just love these. That's what they're hearing all the time. I don't know about you, that's what some people are hearing all the time. And they're thinking, where's my stress from? Well, if everything is horror stories, something goofy, scary, death, disaster, bad news, breakups, damaging movies, TV soaps that strangulate peace and joy. Well, if you're having all of the, hey, stop, wait a minute. Stop reading and watching those stressful stuff. Change them. No matter the story that the newspaper, the social media brings to you, that is their story. Remember, I said, I've shared some of my story with you. You have your story, and that is their story. The question is, what's your story? You can print your own newspaper. You can become your own editor, your own journalist, your own newspaper mogul. You can just you print your own newspaper, rewrite your own story, change it, change everything. It's as simple as that. I have done this in many ways, many ways. That's what I'm sharing with you. Remember the story of a blind boy. The story went that there was a blind boy who sat and had a hat on the floor and was begging. He sat there for a long time. In the day, people came, they dropped some coins in the hat. Maybe somebody drops a coin now and then it takes another 20 minutes or another 5 minutes, somebody come, maybe every 5 minutes or so. Why? Now the boy wrote a card that said, I am blind, please help me. That's what he wrote on it. I'm blind, please help me. Now there was a man who passed by and he thought, So he went to the boy, he got the card that the boy was holding, and he turned it around to the other side. And he wrote something else on the other side. He wrote, today is beautiful, but I can't see it. Now the point is, as the man went, few minutes after, everyone that began to pass, they began to drop more coins in it. So instead of every 5 minutes, it was now like every minute, every 30 seconds. There was more and more and more and more money coming in. You say, what's the difference? Because when the people read the boy's first story, it was stating the obvious, he's blind, please help me. But when it was rephrased, rewritten by this guy on his behalf, that today is beautiful, I can see it made the people to begin to appreciate what they have. And they felt, wow, today is really beautiful indeed. But this boy can't see it. Let's help him. How do you present your story? That's the point. In the day, as the day went by, the man passed by again, and somehow the boy could feel the steps of the man. I don't know how. Blind people can see in a different way, and they can feel in a different way. He felt the steps of, and he said, "Sir, were you the one that came earlier this morning to write something on my board?" The man said, "Yes." So the boy said, "What did you write?" The man said, "Well, I just changed I wrote what you wrote, but in a different way." And the man told him that you wrote, or somebody wrote for you previously, that you are blind to help you. And I just wrote, today is beautiful, but you can't see it. Wow, the boy was grateful. This video, this message is coming your way. It's helping to change your story. If you look back at what you've heard so far and what's to come, you'll see that there are many tips you can really put in to kiss stress goodbye, to eliminate stress from your life. I've done it for myself, for many people, for individuals, for families, for organizations, and this message is coming to you. And even if it's just one principle you can change to allow somebody to rewrite your story, I can help you with that. I can help you with that. If you look at the principles you've heard already in this video, it's coming your way to help you with that already. And seriously, there are many more things you need to listen. This is not a video you're going to just watch and just skip from. No, if you skip here and there, you're going to miss minutes. You need to spend your time and sit down and listen fully and take your notes and apply these things. I'm giving you so many value for free that you can make use of. But as it is, sometimes maybe you've tried as much as you can, but now there's a time to link up with someone. You can link up with me, with my network, subscribe, add yourself to this network, ask me a question, let's work together. Let me help you rephrase that story as I have for myself in many ways, and I have many more information to share with you. So look at the story. Think of a time when you had an award ceremony, either that you received yourself or you attended. Instead of thinking of something dead, scary, something weird, no, think of an award ceremony. Look at how you dressed on the day. You were looking so good. You felt so fine, you smelled so nice. It was a whole thing. Either that you are receiving the award yourself or you are just attending. Just to think about that alone, just play that back. That changes the whole mind. If you go to YouTube, there are many inspiring quotes. You can get and read and just follow. You can search Google for many transformational stories. Wow. How many do you want? Millions of them. Millions of them. You can write your own newspaper. You don't have to read the one that is thinking, smelling with so much bad news, death, disaster, COVID, and all manner of stuff. No, you can transform your own life. Go to Google. There are many transformation stories from any nation, any culture, any age, any group, in any way that you can read. But this on and on. Read quality quotes from movies. There's a movie called The Secret, as an example. There are many quality quotes in it. Get your Bible out if you're a Christian. Get another material out, whatever you have, read them. There'll be information quote that will transform your life. Go back in time, maybe to the best holiday you've ever been. Any best holiday, I mean, look at the series of holidays you've ever had, or just think of one and look at how you are excited, thinking of going on the holiday, packing your bags and looking forward to going on the flight. And then you got down to the place, as you arrived in the reception, you smell the atmosphere. Maybe you went on the beach, you went walking in the market. Just think, just play all of this back. When your mind is going all over the place, you can switch in a moment. Switch in a moment to any of this. There you go. You switch and you keep that negative thoughts away and you go to this new place and you just, hear the music again. Whatever music was being played there, you can hear it again. Smell the atmosphere. Let all your senses come back to life. Seriously, this can take you out of any mess in any second. I could be standing somewhere and things could be happening, and in my mind, you've gone somewhere. You can travel anywhere you've ever been in a second. That's it. And play all of that back. Think of any social memorable night or occasion you've had, any place of interest. As I said, snap in a second to any of this and shake up that stress like a dog is shaking the water off its back. Yeah, after being soaked in the rain. Shake it off, and feel fresh again. You can do that, my friend. You can do that. Let me share this story with you. Okay, this is a never give up story. Jeanette was driving on a storm-driven day, okay, along with her father. They came upon a storm, and Jeanette asked her father, "What should I do?" The dad said, "Keep on driving." Now, as his dad said, "Keep on driving," and she was driving, other cars began to pull over to the side because the storm, the wind, and everything, the hail, the girl was getting worse. "What should I do? What should I do?" The young lady asked. The dad said, "Keep driving." Up on a few feet ahead, she noticed that there was an 18-wheeler, okay, that was also pulling over. So she told her dad, "Dad, I must pull over. I can barely see ahead. It's terrible. And everyone is pulling over." Dad told her, "Don't give up. Just keep driving." Now, the sun was terrible, but she never stopped driving. And soon, eventually, wow, she could see a little bit clearer. After a couple of months, Jeanette was again on dry land and the sun was out. Her father said, "Now you can pull over and get out." She said, "But why now?" "Why get out now?" Dad said, "Now you get back, you get out of the car and look back at all the people that gave up and are still in the storm. And because you never gave up, your storm is over." This is a testimony for anyone who is going through hard times. Just because everyone else, even the strongest, give up, doesn't mean that you have to give up. If you keep going, soon your storm will be over and the sun will shine upon your face again. Seriously, that's right. And once the storm is over, you won't even remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure, in fact, whether the storm is really over. But one thing is certain, when you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person that walked in it. That's right. An old Indian chief was teaching his grandson about life. And he said, "A fight is going on inside of me," he said to the boy. "It's a terrible fight, and it's between two wolves. One is evil, is anger, envious, sorrow, is full of regret and greed and arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority. This evil wolf is full of lies and false pride, superiority, and ego. He continued that the other is good. The other wolf is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The same fight is going on inside of you and every other person too. The grandson thought about it for a minute and then asked his granddad, which wolf will win? The old Indian chief replied, the one you feed. This is also very true, my friend. Some people create their own storms and then they get upset when it rains. There's a sort of two guys in a hospital, okay? One was bedridden and the other one was blind. That's right. One was bedridden and the other one was blind. The one that was bedridden obviously could not move. But the one that was blind was totally blind, couldn't see anything. The one that was bedridden, in a way, could maybe sitting up, could see through the window. When he looks through the window, you can see some daylight, the sky and everything. So now, he was describing the sky, the daylight, the blah, blah, blah. So the one that was blind, the one that was blind, sorry, the one that was blind was just imagining, which is blindness, how the day will be. The day will be bright, to be colorful. There will be the birds in the sky and everything. The other one was bedridden, was totally bedridden, couldn't move up at all. On and on, day after day, he'll be describing this for his other friend who could see but was bedridden. But then the day happened that this day, the guy was blind, died. So when he died, he didn't see, he couldn't hear anybody sharing the story with him. So when the nurses came into the room, said, where's the guy? Where's my friend here who was with me? He said, oh, he passed away last night. And he thought, no. He said, okay. So he asked the nurse to look through the window. And as he looked through, there was a board on the window. There was like, it was not clear to see anyway. It was like a board was on the window. And then he said to them, what can you see? They said, what do you mean, what can you see? There's a board on the window. He said, no. He said, because his friend that passed away yesterday used to describe, the sky, the moon, the blah, blah, blah to him. He said, no, there's nothing there. He was just looking through a blank wall. He was blind already, and of course could not see anything, but he did not know that the friend was blind. He thought the friend could see and was describing all of those wonderful things to him. No. You see, the one that was blind created his own joy, even though he was blind. What joy are you going to create for yourself and for others? You need to create it. Let me share with you. There's a story of a professor. He was teaching a class of students, and then he poured water in a big cup, in a big jar. And then he said, every day we face problems or challenges. But when stress creeps in, we could paralyze ourselves with fear. That's what happened. Just a slight thing, some people will just paralyze themselves with fear. He then asked the students in the class, what is the weight of the glass? And some answered, 8 ounces, you 12 ounces, you 16 ounces. Then he proceeded to say that the weight of the glass doesn't matter. They thought, wow. But he said, no, he said the weight of the glass doesn't matter. It's a question of how long you hold on to it. If you hold on to it for a minute, the weight is less. If you hold on to it an hour, the weight is heavier on your hands, and your hands will begin to ache. If you hold on to it all day, your hand will begin to feel numb and even paralyzed. The weight of the glass has not changed, but the longer you hold on to it, the heavier it becomes. The stresses of life are like that glass of water. Think about it for a little, there's no problem. Think about it a little longer, for about an hour, it begins to hurt. Think about it all day, all week, all month. You feel paralyzed and incapable of doing anything. So the moral is this, my friend. The lesson is this. Always remember, put the glass down. Put it down. Simple. Simple. Another stress buster is laughter. Oh my goodness. You can just break into laughter anytime. Anytime. Just laugh it off. Laughter is a strong medicine for the mind and for the body. That's right. Laughter is a powerful antidote for stress, for pain, for conflict. Nothing works faster or more dependably to bring our mind and our body back into balance than a good laugh. Humor, to have a good sense of humor, lightens the burden. It inspires hope. It connects you to others and it keeps you grounded, focused, and alert. With so much power to heal and renew, the ability to laugh easily and frequently is a tremendous resource for surmounting problems, enhancing our relationship, and supporting both our physical and our emotional health. Seriously, somebody said, 1 minute of good old laughter can boost your immune system up to 24 hours. Just 1 minute of good laughter. Seriously. So your best jokes could actually save somebody's life. Don't miss your opportunity to make somebody's day great. Don't miss it. It's a great opportunity. Seriously, this is not a joke. That humor is a great stress medicine. If you take yourself and your life too seriously, you can just about guarantee that your stress level will be higher than is well supposed to be. Laughter surely relaxes your body. Number two, it enhances your immunity. It gives you perspective. If you can see a potentially stressful situation from a humorous way, it can get you to, to break free and to get rid of that stress. Just like that. Use stories. Okay? Use stories. Listen to story. Simple man games. Play simple man games. Okay, with children. I mean, I used to run a kids club. One of the boys in the kids club, his name is Shawnee. Shawnee was running about as kids do, and he fell. And suddenly just burst into tears. He just I began to laugh and I just went to him nicely and gently without screaming or shouting. And he said, "Come on, Shawnee, what happened? Are you trying to put a hole to the ground?" And he just burst out laughing. Seriously, there you go. Now, I just look at the knee. So there was not even a scratch on it. But to him, it was like hell came down. Everything was all over the place. Now, if I took it seriously as he did and began to cry or began to panic and shake and move it, then it would get worse. It would get worse. Seriously, there was not even a scratch on him. But because I said, I was laughing, I said, "Are you trying to put a hole through the wall?" He just began to laugh. Just turn it around. Turn it around. That's another huge secret. Turn it for yourself, for people around you, turn it around. Seriously. Step number 4 of our step number 5 is a new lease of life. Getting some activity. Okay? To me, by far, this is the most helpful for me. I mean, all the activities I've had to be involved with in my life, by far, this stress buster from the days I was managing football team, which I've shared with you some of it, my kids' work, when I was working in the kids club with young people, working in the school. Now, I never lacked what I needed. Everything was just there. This having this new lease of life, volunteering, doing something is powerful. If you're thinking, what can I do? Number one, go and catch up with some friends. That will pull you up. Just go and sit down with them, have a laugh, watch a movie, do something different. Just break out. Just don't sit down there thinking, nobody loves me, everybody hates me. I think I'm going to eat worms. Don't eat worms. Just get up. Go and catch up with some friends. That will lighten your mood. Number two, get active with exercises. That's right. You don't have to pay gym membership to get fit. You don't have to. If you can discipline yourself, then there are many exercises you can do, okay, that will get you going. Plenty of materials online, plenty on YouTube, lots. They're all there free. You can play into anyone. And if you need to do to get more serious than that, okay. If you have some bit of grass in your house and a garden, your house or your area, just run up and down from here and there. If you have a staircase in your house, run up and down the stairs, go up and down, just like that. There are many exercises you can do in the house without any equipment. Right now, you can get into this. Suddenly, wow, you feel better. You feel stronger. That is it. On your own or with family members. In this pandemic that's happened, it made many people to get imaginative. It made them to begin to look at things in a totally different way. You just have to. Seriously. So exercises, get active with exercises. Get involved with others. As you pull other people up, you are pulling yourself up. That's it. You can't pull somebody up sitting down. No, you have to be standing. So you stand up and pull others up. You can pull, no, when you do that, suddenly you are pulling so much life into yourself by helping others. Number 4, find something you are interested in. Whatever may be your hobby, whether with children, whether with adults, whether with young people, whether with animals, whether with any organization, old people, whatever it is, something you've wanted to do, and get involved with that organization immediately. It's a way of giving back to the community. Seriously, it is. When you do that, you begin to see things happen for you. When you volunteer, you are working in the community, you enrich others, you're building in their self-esteem, and you are lifting people up. There are many, many ways in which this works tremendously for you. It certainly does. So to keep on living for others is more important than living for oneself. Do something good for somebody else. Find situations that bring you directly into contact with others who need the help. Find an area of helping where you feel empathy for those you are working with. Find an involvement that can utilize a skill or ability that you already have. My friend, you have many skills. You have many abilities. If you don't know how, connect with me. I'll have a chat with you. I'll begin to show you the many skills that are already within you. And the organizations out there that you can use that skill and that ability to help. Yes, okay, don't overcommit yourself, even if it's an hour a day, an hour a week, whatever you can do. Push yourself to reach out. Stretch yourself in some way. About a quarter of the people who volunteered in a 12 months period came back with a survey that was staggering to read how they were able to manage their chronic illness. They had chronic illnesses, and they said volunteering gave them a new lease of life. 76% of them said they felt healthier. That's a large number. Wow, 76. They said they felt healthier. 95% said, no, by volunteering, it made their community a better place. 80% were able to control their own health. 94% had improvements in their moods. Their mood swing changed in a good way. 96% looked at it in a way that it enriched their own their own sense of purpose of life. 78%, they were able to lower their stress levels. That's right. Volunteering is powerful. It's powerful for your spirit, for your soul, and for your body. As I said to you, I actually resigned a full-time job to get involved into the community. And today, the rest is history. Seriously. This is step number 5. This is the last step of what I'll be sharing with you. Thank you for staying this long. There are many messages, many tips and tools you've taken already that you can apply. This step number 5. This is spirit, soul, and body connection. Now, there's going to be a whole message about this, maybe in the next video. In fact, have a look on my videos, okay? And the bottom line of everything, the solution of all solution is to know the distinction. And there's plenty in this video for you to apply to wave stress goodbye forever. Step number 5, as I said to you, is the spirit, soul, and body connection. And when I speak to some people, they say body, soul, and spirit. Maybe that made you to think. If somebody asks you, is it body, soul, and spirit, or spirit, soul, and body? You ask them. Many people will say body, soul, and spirit. But the order should be spirit, soul, and body. A whole distinction. I've got to do a whole new video about this. Seriously. The reason is this. You are a spirit. You have a soul. And you live in a body. That is it. So essentially, you are a spirit. You have a soul, okay? to walk along with the real you, but you only live in a body. Your body is a shell. So I don't know. Please say after me. I am a spirit. I have a soul. I live in a body. Say after me, please, one more time, if you don't mind. That'll be very good for you. Just open up your mouth and say it will be powerful. You are sending a message already to your whole system. Say after me, please, one more time, if you don't mind. I am a spirit. I have a soul. I live in a body. Now, not knowing this key and vital difference has been responsible for the stress of many adults over the ages, over centuries. Seriously, the body is your physical shell of your organs, of your system, okay? And it's temporal. Everybody's going to die one day. That's just your body. Your soul comprises of your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, your will, your desires, your personality. So your soul is eternal and is conscious of world environment as well. Okay? Your perception, your memory, your intellect. Your spirit is your energy, your connection, your real self is the spirit of God in you. That is the real spirit. The spirit is a connection. That spirit is divinity or God conscious. It's supernatural in some sense. So you can see which is the boss because your body is world conscious. You can touch the things of the world. Your body is world conscious. Your soul is world conscious. But your spirit is spirit conscious. So you can see straight away that the spirit is the boss. This is a stressless position. Your spirit should be taking the lead. Your spirit should dictate the pace, not your mind, not your body, certainly. Sound mind, oh, definitely, is of great importance. But you must choose carefully what things to think about and dwell on, and what you must not think about and what you must not dwell on. Be careful how you think, for your life is shaped by your thoughts, says the good book, the Bible. Know how to arrest your mind to obey your spirit. Spirit, soul, and body distinction must be made and must be understood. The spirit is the boss. You can't give a loaded gun to a 3-year-old to play with. So why allow your body and your soul to rule your spirit? The intuition, your gut instinct, as some will say, is good, but the spirit is even better. Let your spirit dominate. This is the ultimate stress buster. Then you can combine spirit, soul, and body together. Some people attempt to grow just their spirit only, neglecting the soul, the mind, and this becomes unfruitful and incomplete. Some, they master their soul, their mind alone with complete neglect for their spirit. That's no use either. The body is only a slave to both your spirit and your soul. It follows the lead of whichever, your body follows the lead of whether your spirit, if you lean spirit way, or your soul, if you lean soul way. So why not connect fully today? Your spirit, as I said to you, is a real engine, is a real engine. Now, faith, which is your spirit part, helps you to cope with stress. Faith has a lot to do with coping with stress. Listen to this. Whatever the form of your spiritual beliefs take, growing evidence has shown that faith can be a powerful stress buster. Faith connections enhances your ability to cope with life's more serious stresses. Faith can help you cope with illness and it can help you live longer. The reason why faith, the spirit aspect, helps are both direct and indirect. Faith can provide meaning and purpose. Your faith can strengthen your stress effective values. Faith can provide hope and acceptance. Faith can unite you with others. Faith certainly calms you down. I believe this strongly with my Christian faith. That's a fact. So let's recap, okay? Step number one, I told you about 5 principles. So come to the end of this message now. Step number one, I told you about the 5 wisdom principles from a pencil. That is, people may have left stressful marks on you, on your life, but you can rub it off. You can dig deep inside of you and control the outside from your inside. You can accept sharpening and be held by hands that will guide you to stress-free living. In step number two, I brought to your attention the fact that words have creative power, and about Mrs. Edison, who turned around a negative report and raised a genius who was said to be mentally ill, and that sitting is regarded as dangerous as smoking. In step number three, we consider the usage of laughter and stories as stress busters tools. In fact, that these twins, laughter and stories, are like steroids to burst stress. In step number four, I showed you how a new lease of life, volunteering, okay, how there's a new lease of life that awaits you as you catch up with friends, as you find something exciting to do with other people, by giving back to the community. And finally, that is step number five. I told you that spirit, soul, and body are well integrated, and that faith in a higher power in God gives you an automatic and instantaneous lift from stress, as you know, and suddenly your burdens feels lighter. Your burdens feels lighter. And as I said to you, I'm going to do the whole video on spirit, soul, and body. So when you leave this video, you've got a lot of great information, from me, haven't you? But if you haven't been able to kick stress habits and win before, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So what are you going to do about it? Is it okay if I show you the fast and easy way to make all this thing happen for you? You can kiss stress goodbye. I have a program that I'll be recommending that you look into. I've got some breakthrough materials to share with you, more and more and more. So you have to stay with this, subscribe to this network, watch my videos. If you believe you can apply these principles on your own, then please go ahead and take action. But if you know that you've had so many things before and you promised yourself to take action and you fail to make any progress, then I definitely understand your situation. So why not connect with me immediately? Not everyone that wants to lose weight can do it all by themselves. Some may have to join a gym, a workout class. Some may have to have a personal trainer. I'm ready to be that personal trainer for you in your personal development. And together, we can wave goodbye to stress forever and create your own world. So I have a program where I can help you to see how to reprogram your mind, how stress works with the body, how to let go. I'm going to be sharing with you on pulling and pushing, how to break the habit, the part between cause and effect, problem solving exercises, a guided meditation on prayer, on all of this, many, many things to look at. There was a lady, Miss Brito, I was working with some years back, and she said to me, your wisdom has helped me to develop balance and joy. I've seen you speak at several meetings before, and you are very dynamic. Your message is always motivating and powerful, she said. Your wisdom has helped me to develop balance and joy. Suddenly, I'm better than ever, but I'm not overwhelmed as before. I'm loving life now. That was the experience. This Brito came to me because she was stressed with marital matters, as many women, as some women do, trying to connect, and then she was trying to connect with her growing daughter as she went to high school. And we were able to agree on a family time planner to diarize how to balance matters. She also heard me speak at several meetings using some of these tips I've mentioned to you in this video and many more. And bang, she was able to develop balance and joy. And she was not able to feel overwhelmed as before. My question to you is this, my friend. Can you do this any other way? Yes, you can. You could go and pay a life coach or can go and do a course, and that course will cost you 4,000, 8,000 pounds or dollars. Or you can go to a health retreat and pay about $10,000 and come back and still feel stressed and not much is achieved. Or you could remain stressed and then you could be losing out on a richer relationship, on a better health that will have allowed you to increase your income 5, 10 times. Or you can spend years learning this information, spending hours upon hours on your computer and still not getting the result, wasting time and money in the long run. The fact is, there is no comparison. To be truly successful, as I said to you before, you must be guided as others have been. A driving instructor, if you want to drive. A fitness coach, if you want to get your right weight and fitness. A football coach for your son to develop his skill. A music coach for your daughter for your passion in music. Remember the pencil, the hand that guides. You need a life coach. You need a mentor to guide you through all of this. So here's why I'm going to give you an amazing offer today. Seriously, an amazing offer. And it's going to be when you connect with me, there's going to be seeing more of that. So in conclusion, my friend, thank you for taking so much time watching, listening to this video. Take action. Subscribe to this channel. That's right. Click the button there, subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment. Definitely leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. Connect with me immediately. And I will gladly work with you to see you kiss stress goodbye, just like I have done for myself, for many individuals, for an organization, in the community, for a football team, in the workplace, in the school. I've done this over the years. Let me help you create your own stress-free world, as I did with many, many others. Thank you, my friend, for watching this video. God bless you. Let's connect straight away. Subscribe straight away, send me a message, and then we can take you forward from there. Thank you so much for listening. You can make a difference, and you will make a difference in your life from now and forever. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a good day.